Governor Rick Scott is hinting that he may favor a total makeover of the local expressway authority.
And that comes just one day after Scott's own appointee to the toll agency was arrested. This is how Scott Batterson looked after turning himself in at the Seminole County Jail last night. Had sort of a grin on his face. He bonded out a short time later.
WESH 2 political reporter Greg Fox is here with us live. And Greg, do we know if an overhaul of the toll agency is likely soon?
Well, if it's going to happen this year, lawmakers are going to have to move very quickly. The legislative session ends 1 week from today, and there's still no agreement between the House and the Senate as to whether or not they'll pass a bill and send it to the governor's desk. Are you going to be at the grand jury tomorrow?
When Scott Batterson refused to talk with us on Wednesday, perhaps he suspected then that the grand jury Thursday would indict him on 3 counts of bribery, citing evidence of corruption by a public official. While he may not be as well known to toll payers as a popular town mayor might be to citizens, Batterson was in a position to oversee and influence the spending of billions of current and future toll road dollars. Exactly who Batterson was involved with in the alleged bribery scheme is not being released by the state attorney's office. But friend and former state representative Chris Dorworth, who declined an invitation to appear before a grand jury, currently represents several companies that do business with the Expressway Authority.
Like all appointments, I try to find the best person for the job that's going to do a good job for that position.
Governor Rick Scott appointed Batterson to the Expressway Authority Board in 2011. During an appearance in Lake Mary, he gave some indications that he intends to sign a bill being debated by lawmakers that, if passed, would dissolve the Expressway Authority and replace the current agency leadership with 9, not 5, members, most of whom would be elected.
We expect every public official to live up to high standards. We'll make replacements of any boards or commissions like this as quickly as I can.
Not only did Batterson decline an invitation to speak with the grand jury, so did fellow board member Marco Pena. But what happened when I tried to ask the governor about Pena, a man he also appointed to the Expressway Authority Board, well, we'll find out at 5:30. Martha?
Greg, thank you.